Welcome to the official Nobody's Boy premiere video. Enjoy the show. Is it on me? Is it focusing? Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty. So this is my friend Franny. How long have we been friends for?
For almost 22 years.
22 years, ever since we're little lads
in
fourth grade.
Yep.
So, yeah, he is here at the premiere, and you excited?
Yes, very. It's definitely been an amazing journey seeing him. We discussed all these things ever since middle school, and it's just great to see him going out and doing more and more, and exceeding all expectations, including his own. Yeah. He's just very proud and very happy, and been very grateful and lucky to have seen it from its infancy up until this, and just can't wait to see what else he comes up with.
Just getting lost in your eyes.
I get lost in yours.
God damn it, so bad he's not gay. Well, thanks for coming, sir. Hope you enjoy the movie.
I will.
Hello.
Dan and Fred.
Hi.
This
Hi,
is
nice to meet
Harrison,
you.
the
Hi, I'm
filmmaker.
Harrison.
Hi,
Yeah,
Harrison.
behind the camera.
Yeah, really nice
Hi,
to
I'm
meet you.
Harrison. I'm
Yeah.
going to do handshakes or, we'll do that.
Where he's,
all good.
he's fully vaccinated. So.
Fully
Oh,
vaccinated.
yeah,
Okay.
same here. Yeah.
We should,
yeah.
we should put
I
up
also-
T-shirts. I've had both shots.
Right, yeah.
Diphtheria, rabies.
Well, hello there.
Over there we have.
Okay, so Richie here is actually in the movie. Here he is at the premiere. How you feeling?
Good. I'm excited to finally see it all put together.
He has not seen it yet. Not even a rough cut of it. So we don't know what's going to happen.
Only bits and pieces.
He hasn't even seen the documentary. So,
I'm excited.
well, welcome to the premiere,
Thank
Richie.
you. I can't wait.
Awesome. I guess I'll do it here.
Hey.
So our lead actor has finally arrived. Danny, welcome to the premiere. How do you feel?
I'm nervous,
Nervous?
excited, having anxiety, coming up, driving here. So I'm like,
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know if it's gonna help or not, but your face is right on that screen in there.
I know. I saw.
Yeah.
It's still over everywhere. So I'm like, oh shit. It's like gives me more anxiety.
All right, well, go on and get in there. There's a lot of people want to meet you.
All right.
Welcome to the party.
All right.
Signing the posters. That's very exciting. These look really awesome.
No, I was like, well, they're so big.
Yeah. And there's frames for them too.
That's what John said. That there's frames, and I just got to have one.
I guess I'll get started. I just want to say thank you so much for coming to the cast party premiere of Nobody's Boy. So give yourself a round of applause in the cast. Thank you, Danny, our lead actor. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, especially Harrison, for putting this all together. We really appreciate it. My partner and I, Stephen, really want to welcome you to it tonight. It's quite amazing that this film has already got that kind of buzz. It's made the cover of a magazine. And when I read the article, I saw the actual budget for the film revealed. It was almost $100. I thought, oh, I never saw any of that. But that's okay. And I think, really seriously, all of us committed to the project knowing that we get to work with Harrison Bahi. That's the reason why we wanted to do this film. And when we got involved in the film more and more, we got more invested in the film, and we became that much more committed to making this film what it is you're going to see. And so I just want to thank you, Harrison, for picking me to be part of the film. Thank you for all the actors that were involved, some who I've met for the first time tonight. That's how crazy this film schedule was. And I want to introduce to you Harrison Bahi, Navajo Joe Films.
Telling everybody. Welcome to the premiere of Navajo Joe Films. I'm sorry, Nobody's Boy. Made by Navajo Joe Films. So as I was telling my little neighbor over here, this took 7 years to make. I had this idea for 7 years, and somewhere a year ago I said, you know what, this is going to be simplified into a short film, because originally it was a feature length. And somewhere around that time I did a video shoot and a photo shoot with Danny, and I just saw something, I just saw Danny. And I saw him with this project, and suddenly we flash forward a few months to November, and I'm like, do you want to be in a movie? And he's like, yes. And now it's premiere night, so that was such an intense journey. So I want to thank you all for coming out and watching this. We shot this in 13 days over 4 months during a pandemic. So I gotta thank all of my actors. Richie for taking on a very controversial role. You'll understand what that means. So thank you for your sacrifice. It was a very intense shoot. You'll know what that means in about half an hour. John for pretty much, this guy was my confidant. I would send him the rough cuts and he would say, this is wrong, I like this, get rid of that. So thank you, John. And he really brought a lot of humanity to this project, and I guess you'll see what that means in 30 minutes. And Danny, oh my gosh, Danny. You envisioned the character I have had in my mind for over 7 years, and you did it so, so beautifully. So thank you very much for your contribution. So I guess without further ado, I need to get rid of this and pull up the file on my laptop, so you'll forgive that. We're not a theater, so again, I want to thank you all for coming out. So let the show begin. Yay. Woo. Alrighty, thank you. Slice up that cake.
So Daniel, you did your makeup for that? That was impressive.
Yo, that was hard though.
To make sure you always
Dude, that shit burnt whenever I was like washing it off.
always on the right side. Or did you do it all in one day?
No, we had to like literally like had it. Oh yeah, there's a documentary, so behind the scenes.
What was it?
It's just, it was. Wait. I'll let Harrison tell that. I know that was so like.
Oh, real quick. All right. Also, I want to say, if you hated it, tell us you hated it. If you loved it, tell us you loved it. Kevin right here, he'll be going around, so don't think he's just being a weirdo with the camera.
I enjoyed it. It's not something that I would have normally watched on my own. It's not because, well, being straight, I did notice there was a difference in culture, and he did show me a rough edit of it, and I was able to ask all these questions, and he himself wouldn't have known how to react to them because I don't know that culture, and I was educated a little bit more in the way things are, in gay culture than they are in straight. And it's just, it makes me understand a little bit more. And it's there. It was a beautiful film. Definitely shows a lot of things that I would have never seen because I'm a straight male. So, but it was great. It was beautiful. It's a great story. I enjoyed watching it, the creativeness behind it, and the struggles that people like me would have not seen. And definitely, I'm looking forward to more of his work, showing that side to people like me.
From the cake, it is fully edible for those photo cakes. So, and there's lots of cake. So please partake and have a piece. Again, thank you for coming. I hope you had an amazing time watching the film. We really appreciate your feedback. We really appreciate you being here. So thank you again.
And real quick, before someone eats the cake, I want to get a quick picture.
Can we get the cast around the cake?
Yeah, around the cake. And I'm so sorry for the latecomers. It's available on YouTube, so you're probably very confused as to what was happening. Here we go. We made a really depressing movie. Yay!
Just kidding.
It was so good. What was your favorite part? Tell him. Tell him. What's my favorite part? Yeah. I feel like when he saw his dead friend, that was sad. Oh. But he said he had libbies. Yeah. There was like a lightness to it. It was like kind of funny. The light script. I mean, no one spoke. I would say over a minute until someone spoke. Like there wasn't actually a scripted line. So I liked the light script of like you just figure it out as you go and you match the scenes to what's happening. And then whatever Daniel does say or whatever the characters are saying, it adds like that value to what's going on. But yeah, it was well written, well shot. Really good J cuts that were clean. I liked that. So yeah, good job, Harrison. Never met you, but I love your work.
Hello, I'm Adrian. I am Danny's friend. I really enjoyed the film. I love watching films that tell a story about like individuals that don't really have like a voice to tell their story. So it was pretty cool, and I really like how the film captured the essence of the story. Even though there wasn't like a lot of dialogue in the film, it did like capture how I guess Oscar's story wanted to be told, and I guess the whole film in general. So. Yes.
All right, Daniel.
There.
The premiere is over. People have seen it. How do you
My
feel?
good
Oh
side,
yeah, the
my
good side. Okay.
My good side.
Take two. All right, so the premiere is over, Daniel. How do you feel? People have seen it. People are reacting to it.
I know, it's kind of crazy how people are reacting to it, kind of genuinely. I'm fine now, I guess. I'm still kind of like.
How's the anxiety?
Still there.
Is it still there?
I think it might be there until people actually see it out in like the world. Once we have that link, people can see it freely.
It's there.
No, I
it's
know,
available.
but like I don't know, but publicly and freely. I think they might. I think my anxiety might be more skyrocketed than it might go down too. But right now it's kind of like up in the air right now. So I'm good now, but I'm good.
So what did you think of his performance? I think it was great. It was great, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, being a first time actor.
Yeah, he was a first time actor. This was his first.
And people were wanting to cry. People wanted to cry, and I was like, "Why?" But
I think there were some
because they got invested
eyes.
in it. Because they got invested in someone who was a friend of theirs, and they're like, "I can't see my friend go through that." I'm just like, "Yeah, but that's what we wanted. We want people to get invested into it, to make it feel like, yes, it's me, but it's not me. You're still having emotional attachment.
It's
to
just
this
hard
movie.
for your friends to watch Daniel Estrada be raped.
Beaten, raped,
Yeah.
or just going through pretty much whatever was going on in the movie, which is kind of, I was like, it's fine, but I mean, that's what I think that's what you wanted though. You wanted people to be invested. You wanted people to be emotional. You wanted people to grab it.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Well,
how do you feel about everybody seeing your ass?
Yeah,
I actually didn't care about
nudity.
that. I didn't care about that, to be honest.
No, you looked at me. You were like, and I was all like, you know what? It's out there.
Wait, when? I forgot.
On the nudity, when you were undressing in front of John. In
Really?
the shower.
I don't remember that. I swear to God, I don't remember.
Yeah, you looked at me and you were all like.
Oh, that was fine. I didn't really care. People have seen my ass literally all over the internet, so it didn't really matter to me.
And I felt more. I was like on the rape scene. I was like, what have I done?
One of my friends flinched a little bit. He was watching it, and then he went like flinched.
Wait,
and
friend?
I caught it.
Which friend?
Get
him over here.
Okay, hold on.
What's his name?
Freddie. I don't
Freddie. So I mean,
Hi.
yeah, this is Freddie.
Sorry, I was eating cake.
So I hear you were affected by the most controversial scene of the whole movie.
It was the punch.
The punch scene.
You flinched. I saw you flinch, like not like crazy, but you flinched a little bit.
You know, it's interesting, right? I consider Danny one of my closest friends, and I know it's acting, but seeing someone that you know go through that, you're kind of like, oh. Like I almost wanted to like grab him and be like, friend, I'm sorry, but I know it's the movie, and I know it's the scene, but I would say it was emotional. That whole rape scene, I was like, I felt it.
Yeah. Well, he's safe.
Yes.
And
I'm getting well and drinking.
Yeah, and then the behind the scenes documentary, you'll find that we'll have a really good time shooting that scene. And in fact, that was his favorite scene to shoot. So.
It was.
Yeah.
It was so like actiony, and like I mean, there'll be a documentary of me saying that later verbatim, but it was just more action than sad.
Yeah, we were just saying, who would have known our little Danny was such the actor?
No, I saw in him from the very first photo shoot to the last modeling video we did. There's something with this guy, and we cracked it open with Nobody's Boy. So,
But I do want to know, is there a part 2 to Nobody's Boy?
is there a part 2 to Nobody's Boy?
That's the second person.
I
Nobody's 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I have questions. I want to know. I'm invested.
Ask that question for the Q&A, and we'll get that answer.
Great.
To be continued.
You're a good actor.
I called Harrison like 2 months before, like I would say almost the time he was considering, pre-production on this movie, and I said, I think you should cast me as Oscar. Now, hold on. So, of course, I called him and he didn't pick up the phone. All right, that's what he doesn't do, right? So I left this long pitch on his voicemail, and I said, Harrison, hear me out. Think about it. This is something that hasn't been talked about. The senior sex worker issue. Right? Am I right? You guys have seen it. These seniors over 60, 65 out there trying to supplement their Social Security. What do? They have sex for money. And they're addicted. Like Daniel was to alcohol, but they're not addicted to alcohol. They're addicted to Viagra. Viagra. Yeah, hear me out. Viagra. They're addicted to Viagra. And if you tell this story, Harrison, you'll be like exposing something that's never been seen before. And you're dealing with ageism in Hollywood. You're dealing with that too. 3 months later, he finally returns my call. And he says, no. That's it. But I do have a role for you. So, anyway, put 5 of these posters together in frames, all signed by the cast. Each cast member will get one on their way home tonight. And that's as an appreciation for being part of this film and for, changing my life in a way, because this is something I've always wanted to do, and I didn't know I had it in me, and Harrison brought that out. Like Danny said the same thing. He said, Harrison brought this out of me. So he has that talent, and you want to kind of latch on to that. And I gotta appreciate you so much, and thank you for your talent. And so if you could bring them over, we'll hand them out. There you go.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
There you go, Danny. Just a little souvenir. Oh, in the crying scene? Remember the crying scene?
Yes.
Danny was having a hard time crying.
They'll know.
But they don't know the real reason why I got you to cry. I told you, remember, outside the front door, I told you that Harrison wasn't paying you.
That's true. You're right. Yeah, that made me.
That's gone.
The $100 went to the whole Jack Daniels bottle,
Danny,
which I drank.
Danny, this is true.
Eric filled it with water, right? A little food colored.
And Harrison, this is for you, sir. Thank you so much.
Woo! Yeah! It's beautiful!
All right, I'll shut up now.
So, for Daniel, that's a first-time actor, and this is, I don't know how many projects you've done.
This is my first actual.
This is my first actual film appearance.
My background's mainly theater.
Gotcha. So that scene, it looked legit. The fight scene, you know?
That I've always wanted to do stage combat.
I've always wanted to do stage combat.
and I've never actually had a chance to do stage combat, so I was actually really excited and Harrison was really good at directing it. It takes a skilled person to be able to actually make it look real, so.
Yeah, I had so many questions with that as far as when you said that was a challenge. It's like, how are you directing it, and how many takes are you really doing to get it?
Well, I've been making films since 2007, and in 2007, I made a lot of ridiculous action movies with a lot of gratuitous violence, as you saw from the tongue pulling. So, imagine a whole decade of that leading up to this. And it was only challenging because I thought it was a very, very taboo thing, rape. How do you shoot that, But, I I think it was when I was choreographing it, that's when I realized that, okay, it's not a rape scene, it's a fight scene. And that's how I approached it. So once I looked at it that way, because I mean, I gotta admit something here, and these two know, Richie knows, but I suffered my first anxiety attack with this movie, just because of this scene. I didn't know how I was gonna approach it. It was stressing me the fuck out. No joke on that.
It was a clean scene. I mean,
Yeah.
I was joking around with her like, "Where's his double?" He didn't fight, you know, because it looked legit. So, and I know it's his first movie, so I wasn't sure if you were coaching him through or if you were coaching him through it. But you guys did good on it.
No, I pretty much, I mean, I already had enough credits, but, you know, fight choreographer was one of those, and, you know, like they said, we choreographed it on my couch, and then we adapted it when we moved to the vehicle.
That's when I realized how old I was, because I was not moving as well inside the car.
So, I mean, it was easier to approach it as a fight scene as opposed to a rape scene, because, I mean, I don't know why I wrote that scene. It just, I don't. It's weird when I'm thinking about it, but again, like a lot of the interviews suggest, you know, a lot of people go, a lot of that happens to people, not even just in the gay community, but just in all communities.
Well, like you said, something was missing in the film.
Yeah.
Like that could have been something that was missing in the film. Maybe something more like, yeah, it's rape, it's beat, but it heightens the movie because it's so like here.
Yeah.
So maybe that rape scene, the beat scene makes it. You're like, oh my god, and then you know.
Yeah.
Every scene builds to the next one. Like you're following along, and it just gets into this story arc for Danny, because originally it was this, you know, kind of just druggy movie, really, and it turned into a real like character-driven, amazing story, and you see this isolation, this loneliness, and this sense of loss, as I was saying, that he was struggling with, and that the Mark character was similar. He had this sense of loss of who he truly was. He had denied it for years and years. I guess it's not lost as much as it was denial. Like he's denying his loss, and I'm denying my loss of the life I could have led if I came out loose sooner.
And it should be mentioned that, you know, before I landed on alcoholism, and I actually cut a majority of that out of the documentary, but my sister was an alcoholic, and she's 4 years sober, but, you know, I kind of saw what that did to her. And before I landed on alcoholism, it was going to be a heroin addiction story. And we actually shot a scene of Oscar, you know, doing heroin, which ultimately, of course, obviously got cut. But, you know, I landed on alcoholism because I witnessed firsthand how that affects people, you know, with my sister, and how we dealt with that as a family. So, but yeah, but I don't know, the rape scene, and again, Daniel said he felt really nervous saying it was his favorite scene to shoot, but because
it's taboo to say that's your favorite scene whenever that shit really happens.
But
and that was,
but behind all that darkness, like I said, we were having a lot of fun. It was tiring. It was a bit more physical, demanding, and it was a challenge for actors in different ways. We knew what kind of scene we were shooting, but we still kind of had fun with it, and that's kind of what I was want to aim for with shoots. You know, despite how dark they are, we kind of still want to have fun with it and challenge, you know, each other. So, but yeah, that's I think that's the most challenging scene I've ever shot, ever. So.
And it turned out, I think, great. The second part of the question was, where do you see Oscar now? Because the way I interpreted that last scene was, you have no idea. Like, the way he's looking at him is like, yeah, thanks for that. It could be, but you just have no idea where my reality is.
People have been asking for a part 2,
Yeah.
or a full length film. So that's why he wanted the drugs in it, because in the short film it was supposed to be drugs in there, but it's just a short film for so much to be in there, but maybe a full length, maybe he drinks a lot, and maybe it leads to drugs.
I think the drug scene that he had in there made Oscar less sympathetic, honestly.
It just would have been like, it's just been, oh, okay, he does drugs now, like maybe like later on.
And it was just one scene where he does drugs. That's why I found it necessary.
Well, it
to
has
cut.
a layer of messiness to you, because I didn't really connect with you, I guess, in that sympathetic fashion until you're going through like some serious trauma, and now you're so invested in this character to where every little face you're making, it's like, where's he at? You know what I mean? have so much going on.
And Oscar was holding so much in for so long that the rape scene, and then Mark, this kind of incidental Good Samaritan. You know, you could approach somebody on the street and go, I can talk to this person, I don't know this person. That's who Mark was, and he just let go. He couldn't he could have called his mother, he could have called anybody else, but
there was a mother subplot cut.
Good segue.
I think there should be part 2.
Which
I think that would
which
well, people have been asking for a part 2 or sequel.
Yeah, well,
that might be in there.
Yeah, so your question has multiple answers. There is not a sequel to this. And in fact, one of the things I did cut out of the documentary was the fact that this was a feature-length script before it was transformed into a short film script. So that feature length had a lot more stuff. It had, at that point, it was a drug story, and it had a subplot with a mother, which denied Oscar. And then there was much more character moments with Mark, because Mark would actually take him in and try to help him with his drug problem, and then he would relapse and steal from Mark. So there was a whole lot more into that. So sequel, no, but an expansion of this short film into a feature length, very possible. But unfortunately, the ending for me was always going to be ambiguous. And if there is a feature length, it would still end that way. Because what I do in my films is I want the audience to create that future for that character. Because in the end, he smiles. But then he stops smiling because I want that possibility of, yeah, he'll be okay, but then there's a possibility that he might not. So whatever happens him in the future, that's all up to you. Choose your own adventure. So
Love that. Yeah. Well, kudos, guys.
thank you very much. He rented the screen, you know. I was just gonna say, let's go meet in your living room and watch it there, you know. So John and Steven set up all of this. So thank you very much. Give him a round of applause. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. So, all right. Well, now comes the end of the night. I want to thank you all for coming, as I've always said. Thank you for all the actors that were participating in this movie. This movie has quite a future ahead of it. There's a lot of festivals we're going to be submitting it to. So, and it's also going to be available on YouTube and Vimeo as an unrated cut, because YouTube are bastards. So, no butt shots on the YouTube cut. So if you really liked it, you really loved it, it's available on YouTube at Navajo Joe Films. That's how you spell it. Share it. If you love it, share it, share it, share it. It would mean a lot to us, the cast and crew. So, and that's it. Thank you very much for coming out. I love all of you. Before the night ends, as I always do with my photo shoots, I would like to get a big old selfie with all of you. So please, everyone stand, gather around. I'm gonna aim this camera at all of us.